This week was my second week of returning to live TV as a freelance television host on CVM TV's live evening edition. Check out some snippets.
Our panel discussion this evening focuses and zooms in on the age-old problem of predial larceny, how it impacts farmers and the general economic fallout. Well, it is said that billions are lost annually to the practice, which the agriculture minister says continues to handicap growth and expansion of local production and hampers productivity in the agricultural and fisheries sector generally. So this evening, we assess some of the steps taken to mitigate the scourge and the present state of farming. And we welcome our panel of experts. Norman Grant, Managing Director and President of the Mavis Bank Coffee Factory. He is also the former president of the Jamaica Agricultural Society, well, a former president that is, and Hugh Johnson, a farmer, who is a former president of the Small Business Association of Jamaica. Gentlemen, thank you so much for your time.
You're most welcome, and thank you for having us, and good evening to all your viewers.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Everyone.
Mr. Grant, let me kick off with you because, as I just mentioned in the preamble, that billions, as a matter of fact, the agriculture minister said up to 5 billion, I think he said, per annum is lost to predial larceny in Jamaica. What can be done to mitigate this situation?
Yeah, predial larceny has really been a cancer that has been affecting the agriculture sector for far too long. The theft of agricultural produce.
How will the Firearms Act and gun amnesty impact the crime scourge? Well, we continue our focus here on CVM Live on the country's crime problem. We are joined this evening by Reverend Dr. Henley Morgan, Chairman of the Agency for Inner City Renewal, and Lieutenant Commander George Overton, Chairman of the Private Sector Organization of Jamaica Standing Committee on National Security and Justice. Our panel discussion continues assessing Prime Minister Andrew Holness's geopolitical standing and his recent presentation at the United Nations. Still with us from the diaspora, Bindley Sangster II. He is also CEO of Sangster's Coffee, and Helene Davis White, General Secretary of the Jamaica Association of Local Government Officers. Now, Mr. Sangster, right before the break, you were making a point regarding Prime Minister Andrew Holness's position in terms of, where we're standing geopolitically. You can continue on that point that you were making.
Yeah, and forgive me, I don't know where I left off, but I was asked how I thought he was doing on the global stage. And
exactly.
I think he's doing a very good job. I think he's created, as I said, not to be redundant, a statesman that we need at this time. He has built relationships, not just in distance and, globally, but even regionally. We saw in August where he went down to Trinidad, and if I'm not mistaken, it was their
60th anniversary of independence.
Right. And he signed an MOU with Trinidad to build relationships between Trinidad and Jamaica.
Our panel discussion continues as we assess the way forward for Jamaica's contract labor evolution. And still with us, John Mafood, President of the Jamaica Manufacturers and Exporters Association, and John Levy, General Secretary, Union of Clerical Administrative Supervisory Employees, UKs. Mr. Levy, before the break, you were expounding on Mr. Mafood, I should say, before the break, you were expounding on the implications of that ruling. Can you continue, sir?
Yes, so the security guards were paid, roughly speaking, $260 an hour for an 8-hour day, 40 hours a week. That would be about just over $10,000. In order to have a living wage and so on, most security guards work 12-hour days, 5-6 days a week, but no benefits. The court ruling indicates that they must be treated as an employee with benefits.